I'm Commissioner Erick Allen, and welcome to another edition of Inside the District. Today we're going to focus on our parks. Cobb County is a great place to live, work, and play, and we are lucky to have such a diverse offering of parks and trails to help our active lifestyles. Now, earlier in August, I was able to join firsthand to welcome over 200 bike riders to Cobb County. They left from Atlanta and were able to ride to the newly opened Silver Comet Connection at Plant Atkins and ride all the way to Mableton. This is a huge accomplishment as we get even closer to connecting the Comet to the Beltline. Also, during the All-Star Game, MLB and the Atlanta Braves opened the renovations at Ryan Park, which will be a huge boost to the softball experience for our young players in Cobb County. These are just two examples of the exciting things going on in our parks and trails. So now, let's learn more and dig into some exciting news with Director of Parks, Michael Brantley. Michael, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
So the Silver Comet bike ride was very successful a couple of weeks ago. I want to start with that. Tell me a little bit about, the Silver Comet Trail, the connections, all the good things going on there.
So, we've had the Silver Comet Trail for about 30 years now, roughly 25, 30 years. And one of the big things is it just keeps growing. It keeps growing. And it's one of those things that we've always wanted to be able to connect to more. Having the connection now to all the way to the state of Alabama has been huge. But now we're going to be able to connect to Atlanta, and that's just going to even open it up more. One of the big things with the Silver Comet, and you saw it firsthand, is even when there's 200 bike riders coming from Atlanta, it's still being used by the residents of Cobb County and being used tremendously. Every trailhead that morning was completely full. So it's a testament to what the Silver Comet Trail is for Cobb County residents.
Yeah, and I know the Path Foundation has been extremely helpful in getting that together, and they've got a little bit more work to do as we make some connections, but also some of the development along it.
Yes.
As I've noticed, has been a really big boon, not only for the communities, but also just in general for the county.
Absolutely, and it's one of those things that we knew that those connections were going to happen. But having those larger developments right next to it, you knew that there was going to be something that was going to be behind. So we're trying to work on those connections as best we can. We added something a few years ago off Drennan Avenue that was to a apartment complex, so they could have a connection over to the Silver Comet. So it was one of those things that we're trying to make those connections and make it easier for people to use that, because again, it's 15 miles just inside of Cobb County, and then now, like you said, once you get to Atlanta, it's just going to be even open it up more.
Yeah, and it's not just the Silver Comet, even the trails in Kennesaw. We've got the Bob Callan new trailhead opening up in a couple of weeks. Right. So everybody, if you haven't gone out and walked the trails and enjoyed some of the most beautiful parts of Cobb County, I encourage you to get out and do it, and Parks and DLT have done a great job getting that out there. Now, one of the other things that I want to talk about, something I wasn't that aware of, were the summer programs that you guys have at the parks. I was able to go to the Civic Center and play some indoor putt-putt golf and do some other stuff. I mean, tell us a little bit about those programs.
And it's one of those things that from a standpoint for summer, we know the kids are out of school, and one of the things that we try to do is at least offer a day camp experience for the kids, and we offer that day camp experience at most of our recreation centers. There's one that we don't, because we allow the Boys and Girls Club to do it in that area. And this year we've added Milford Recreation Center, which is a brand new facility, one of our brand new facilities, a recreation center wise. We didn't have the time to put together a day camp experience for the children in that area. We will be able to do something next year, but it's something that we do all summer long just at those recreation centers. But one of the things that people don't really understand is that between our tennis centers, our aquatic centers, and our arts centers, we're also doing camps and programs all along the summer. So being able to do certain things specifically at the Civic Center, you mentioned the indoor putt-putt, it's just a way to get more folks to come out. It's hot in the summertime. A lot of people want to be outside in the summer, but there's not a lot of people that, some people that want to try to stay inside. And between something like indoor putt-putt, having the new walking track inside of Milford Recreation Center, being able to keep those, ones that want to stay a little cooler inside and still being able to recreate, it's a great thing for us.
Yeah, that would be me. And you mentioned the aquatic center. I know some exciting upgrades coming there. Do you want to talk about those?
Sure. We were able to do all of our aquatic centers over the past year with our SPLOST funding from 2022 to really look at the painting inside of our aquatic centers. So that's been one of the key issues, is repainting the entire inside, including the pool and replastering the pools. But a couple of years ago, we also did all of our dehumidification units in all of our aquatic centers. A dehumidification unit is a very important piece to that because it's such a caustic environment. You don't want to smell those chloramines when you're inside of an aquatic center, so it's very difficult. So when those machines aren't working like they're supposed to, it does cause a little bit of a rank smell per se inside the aquatic centers. So what we try to do is make sure that those units are always, tip-top 100%. So we were able to do all of that over the past 2 years. And then one of the things that we were able to do specifically at Mountain View Aquatic Center and at West Cobb Aquatic Center was redo their bathrooms. So we're actually going to go back to Central Aquatic Center and South Cobb Aquatic Center this next year and redo those bathrooms as well.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, a lot of your SPLOST dollars hard at work.
Absolutely.
Which is a good thing. One of the other big events that Parks participates in every year is the North Georgia State Fair.
That's correct.
I know that's coming up in a couple of weeks.
It is.
Hopefully everybody's already planning your visit, getting your tickets ready. But there's a lot of exciting changes coming to this year, and I know you guys we've talked to the community a couple of times, but free parking, if you didn't know. But what else can people expect other than the free parking at the State Fair?
Well, I think that's one of the things, they have these different things that go on every year, whether it be the programs inside or whether it be, it used to be concerts, but now it's a little bit more of the rodeo and the monster trucks and the demolition derby. They've got a lot of that. But again, the food. I mean, I think everybody comes for the fair food. Everybody comes for the fair food. And so that's what it is. And there's always plenty to eat. As you can tell, I know exactly from all the fairs that I've been to, but there's always plenty to eat at the fair. But again, I think the free parking is going to be a big issue for us this year, simply because it's been such a little bit of a problem in getting so many people to this one little area for so long. So I think it's going to help with queuing. I think it's going to help with traffic. We think it's going to be a big help overall. So we're excited about that change, and we're excited to see what that change brings for the next few years.
Yeah, and I know the community has come out, and we've been very compassionate listening to their concerns. I mean, if you live in that area, it's got to be a nightmare, but we've done a lot to mitigate that. And I'm thinking this year, I think you would agree, is going to be a lot smoother.
I think so. And the Sheriff's Department does a wonderful job with putting traffic plans together and making sure that people are doing what they're supposed to. And I think that's been one of the big things is, sometimes, we do miss certain things here and there. But we accept that, and we know that we've got to do better, and we continue to try to do better, and I think we're continuing that process.
Well, good. I think something else that people have probably seen pop up over the last couple of months is the signs. I know you've taken on a huge sign project to kind of revitalize so people know where our parks are. Right. They know they're at a Cobb County park. So where are we at in that project, and what can people see next?
There's a lot. You think that there's not a lot, but there's a lot of signs in our parks. And specifically, we've been focusing mostly on our entry signs. But we've got, almost 90 properties in the county that are parks properties, and about 78 of those are active open parks. So you start changing one sign here or there, it's got a long way to go. So we're not even halfway done with that process yet, but we're excited with what we did. The new sign package, we have a branding package that we now know exactly what signs are going where inside of our parks, and we can just follow that branding package, and it just makes them look, like you said, knowing that you're in a Cobb County park, but then also the directions inside of the park is a big thing, because we have some pretty large parks, whether they be the natural trail areas and things like that. So it's one of those things that having those directions can also, save lives. But we've been working a lot with our PD, with our Ranger program, and with GIS to focus on our ELM signs, which are emergency location marker signs, and putting those all over the park. So it's, again, just a way to keep people safe in our parks.
So once again, visit the trails, visit the parks. They're safe, and we're helping you get where you need to go.
Absolutely.
Once you get inside. Anything else exciting going on with parks?
We've always got something going on every day, it seems like, and we have a lot of programs coming on. I think some of the biggest ones that we've got coming up, we've got our International Festival that is at the Jim Miller Park Event Center this weekend. So that'll be on this Saturday, and then a couple of months from now, October, we've got our Fall Festival of Fun, which will also be at Jim Miller, and we're expanding our haunted house this year. Last year we did our haunted house for a couple of nights during the Fall Festival of Fun. This year we're going to actually run it for about 7 nights, and we're making it a little bit bigger. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. But between those two things, our Cobb Goes Pink program and everything else, there's just always something going on with Cobb County Park. So we just keep putting them out for the residents.
Yeah, how can people find out?
Absolutely, they can go to cobbcountyparks.gov, cobbcountyparks.gov or cobbparks.gov. We've got everything on the website. You can go to the Cobb County website. We have social media. We're all over social media, whether it be Instagram or Facebook or Twitter. I'm not the most social media savvy guy, but I have a lot of staff that are. So you can find us on all of those social media apps.
Well, thank you very much. This has been a great conversation. It's a lot of good things going on at the park, so I encourage you to come out. And one of the things I will tell you, the park staff, they are amazing. As I have interacted, whether it be at the Civic Center, at the parks, even at the bike ride, just interacting with your team, they are phenomenal.
They are. They're 100% the best staff in the world. I couldn't ask for anything better. I tell them all the time, I'm just here to sort of be out there, but they're the ones that actually do the work. They are the ones that make it happen. They're the ones that create the memories for our Cobb County residents, and I can't be more proud to be a part of them.
Well, thank you, and thank all of them for the work that they do.
Absolutely.
And before I go, I just want to thank the Bells Ferry Civic Association for an engaging community meeting last week, as well as the Powers Ferry Corridor Alliance for an amazing town hall last Thursday. And I look forward to continuing to get out in the district and be inside the district with each one of you. But until next time, have a great day.